What is going on, everybody? My name is Giraffe Anatomy, and this is another quick god guide for you. Basically, what I'm aiming to do here is just give a nice basic high-level overview of gods for new players or players that haven't really played the god very much. What I'm going to do is keep it very simple. I'm just going to do a very high level. We're going to go through her, like the god's abilities, how to use them, what they do, and some very simple ways to maybe utilize them in combinations of each other. So hopefully by the end of this video, you're able to take that god and put them into an arena, a joust, even like a conquest match, and sort of know what to do with them already, right? So yeah, we're not going to get into anything super crazy. I'm not the best Smite player ever. I'm not the most technical when it comes to abilities or anything either, but I can definitely help new players learn the gods, kind of learn the abilities, learn what they do, and give you a basic idea of how to play them, right? So yeah, we're not going to get into stats or is this god better at auto attacking than that god, or how to like use minute details like that, right? We're just going to do a very high level overview, and yeah, hopefully you're able to get another god under your belt here because of that. So real quick, let's go into training and some jungle practice. And today's god that we're learning about is Amaterasu. I used to do two at a time. I started doing this two at a time, but it keeps getting longer and longer. I want to keep these condensed. I think it was like 15 minutes like the last time. So yeah, basically we'll stick to one per video for now, and then if there is time to get another one in, maybe we can get another gut in here. But today's video will be all about Amaterasu, and let's jump in and get going. So Amaterasu is a warrior. So basically the way she's utilized is you're going to see her a lot in solo lane. She'll be normally built a little bit tankier because she just has a more natural, like higher defense, higher health, and she has the ability to not build damage but still do damage, right? She has a higher base damage. So she's still able to dish out damage while building a little bit tankier and a little bit more defense. So what we'll do is we'll go over her passive first, which is really important to her kit. So Amaterasu's passive is Illuminating Strike. So Amaterasu illuminates enemies she hits with basic attacks. After 3 hits on the same target, the enemy gains an aura, exposing their weaknesses, and causing them to take more damage from all sources. This is all sources. This isn't just you. This is anything that's doing damage to them while this aura is applied to them, right? So any other enemies that come into the afflicted target area are weakened as well. So what does that mean? Let's show you her aura real quick. So basically when I attack 3 times, do you see this aura that's around here on the ground? It's like swirling. This is the debuff aura. Not only is the god that I'm attacking getting that 10% weakness here, right? 10% increased damage taken, but anybody else that's in this circle near this god is getting that, any enemy, right? So this is a great team fighting tool for Amaterasu. She utilizes this in team fights very well. She is a very good utility god, so she's really great in solo lane because during team fights she's going to apply that debuff. She's going to use her one, which we'll talk about in a sec, which applies buffs to your team as well. So you're getting a lot of utility team wide from this god, right? So let's get into her one. We'll discuss that here in a second. So her one is whoop, come on. Let's go. Divine Presence. Amaterasu harnesses the power of her jewel, healing herself every second for 4 seconds and creating a persistent aura that buffs nearby allied gods. Every time this ability is activated, the aura switches between Valor and Benevolence. So when you use her one, not only are you going to get a heal per tick, right, for 4 seconds, but you're also going to switch auras. And you basically have Benevolence aura, which is the movement speed aura, or the Valor aura, which is the power aura. So depending on which one you're on is what you're going to get the bonus of, right? And you'll see Benevolence, it goes from 5, 9, 13, 17 to 21% movement speed at level 20. It's awesome. Or the Valor aura, which is 14, 18, 22, 26, or 30. Bonus power. These are great things to have. And remember, this is giving this buff to you and your teammates, anyone that's within range. So I will show you here real quick. Let's go over And really quick, I'm just going to add some items onto her, so it makes all of this really easy. I'll even add the Frostbound because I'll show you guys that later. I'm going to change teams real quick. When you're near a teammate, they get the aura too, right? So this is basically the distance that you're at to get this aura, right? If it's under them as well, they're also getting the same buffs you are. Watch this Odin zoom. Look how much faster he is when he has the the movement speed buff. He's zooming, man. So yeah, and then if you press your 1, it will switch between them, right? So now I have the power aura. And this is really great because it gives you a lot of sustain. You get that healing tick as you press your 1. I'm going to show you real quick what this looks like as well. So I know, let me change teams real quick. Let's go over to the god bots. Have Guan Yu do a little damage to me, and I'll show you the healing that this provides you as well. Right, so I'm gonna let him do a little bit of damage to me. All right, now if I press my 1 here, see that right there? The divine presence, you are being healed. That's what your 1 does when you switch between the auras. And the other thing is this, because it's a self-heal that works like Hercules' 3 or something like that, this item, Shield of Regrowth, goes really well with Ama. It synergizes with her kit very well. Basically, Shield of Regrowth's passive is after healing yourself from an ability, you gain 30% movement speed, 15 physical power, 30 magical power for 4 seconds, right? So it only occurs once every 10 seconds, but normally your thing's on cooldown by then, so when you press it a second time, it'll happen again. But as you can see, once I do this and I start healing, once that heal pops, I'm even faster because I get that extra movement speed from Shield of Regrowth on top of my Benevolence aura if I'm doing the movement speed aura here for Ama. So yeah, one of the ways you can tell also which aura you're in is the circle on the ground under Amaterasu. It will change with you, so you don't even need to look like down these corners or anything like that. You can tell just by looking at the floor under Amaterasu which stance you're in. Cool, so that goes over her first ability, which is the movement speed. Let's get into her second ability, which is her Heavenly Reflection, her mirror. Let me set myself to level 20. Let's get everything up here. And we're going to go into her 2. So Amaterasu's 2 is called Heavenly Reflection. Amaterasu changes her mirror for charges her mirror for 5 seconds. While the mirror is charging, she takes decreased damage. By activating the ability again, or at the end of 5 seconds, she will fire her mirror straight ahead, dealing damage. The mirror can be charged by successfully attacking enemies or from taking damage, and will deal up to double the base damage when fully charged. It's double the damage when fully charged. Almost always you want to have this mirror fully charged. You will be getting much more out of it if you get it fully charged before you fire it. And also this is great for self-damage mitigation. This is a great team fight tool, or just like a one-on-one tool with Amaterasu, because as you're charging it, you're going to take that decreased damage as well. So let me show you what it looks like. When it's charging like this, I'm just going to show you what it's like by itself. After it starts charging, you'll get that line. It'll start coming into focus. That's the damage line that this shield will hit, right, once it's fully charged. And as you saw, when I did this, you can see the damage numbers on Odin with it just charging regularly, 231. That's without hitting him at all. But if I charge it, and I hit him with basic attacks, right, so with a fully charged mirror, with her basic attacks, or from taking damage, it doubles the damage. So let's see what that looks like, right? If I do this, see how the mirror's fully charged now? 462. It's like double the damage, literally, from what it was before, right? So you want to always be auto-attacking, or, I mean, you don't want to be taking damage, but taking damage will also charge the mirror, in addition to you auto-attacking. So basically what you want to do is when you're charging the mirror, auto-attack here. Once the mirror's fully charged, you can also fire it early. You don't have to wait. You can press 2 again to fire it early there. And so let's do this. Let's charge it on him, and I'll use it on somebody else. But we'll charge it. Right, it's fully charged. I can fire it whenever I want once it's fully charged. Right, you can do that. So let's do this again. Wait for the ability to come up. Charge it. You can fire it. There we go. So yeah, that's basically how you charge her mirror and utilize her too, right? You're going to want to use your basic attacks, and that's why you're going to see a lot of attack speed based builds on her. You're going to see items like Berserker Shield, Shoguns, even things like Toxic Blade. You're going to see these items because they're defensive items and they're going to increase her attack speed, and her attack speed gives her her passive, which you're getting that weakened aura on somebody, right? And then you're also able to charge your mirror up faster in a fight, and you're able to, you know, send it off quicker, right? So if you're in a fight and you're charging your mirror, already charged, I can burst it down. It's already on cooldown, right? You don't have to wait for it to charge up. So yeah, that is basically her 1 and her 2. Let's get into her 3, right? So let's talk about her third ability, which is Glorious Charge. Amaterasu shines light off of her sacred blade, silencing all enemies in front of her. Then she dashes forward while dealing damage, piercing through minions or stopping at the first god hit. This ability can hit multiple people. Some people don't realize this right off the bat, but although she will stop at the first god hit, so she'll go through minions and buff camps and things with it, but when she hits the first god, she stops there. But the silence continues on through the whole ability. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the line that she silences in. And even though I will stop on the first god hit, I can silence a god behind them or anybody else like in this line, right? So this is one thing people miss when they're first playing Ama that you can do, and I'll show you. Look for the debuff on the second Odin over there, right? So I'm going to stop at the first god here when I use this dash ability, but the silence will still go through to the second one, right? So watch. You see that? So the second Odin up here still got silence because he was in there. Even though I stopped at the first god that I hit, the silence goes through everybody. So this is really great for like all day carries and things like that use auto attacks. The silence is able, or like any sort of squishy, right? Silencing them is a great engage tool to use. It's a great dash tool to like get into fights and start fights and stuff. And if you get up to a god and you silence them for a second, you're getting the drop on them and you're able to start hammering away before they can really do too much, right? Really quick, before I get into all our other abilities, I do want to show you how to clear lane minions with Amaterasu, like the most effective way. So a way that you can do this is normally you start with your 2 when you're in lane, and what you'll do is you'll get into lane and you'll do this. You'll start wailing on the minions, and once your thing's charged, you can clear the minions that way. But a very fast way to do it once you have your 2 and your 3 is you can actually charge your mirror by dashing through all of the minions. So watch. See how it's fully charged already? And I can fire it. So this is a great clear tactic in solo lane. Once you get your 2 and your 3, instead of getting all those hits in, right, and waiting for the mirror to be charged that way, you can actually pop your mirror, dash through all the minions, waves cleared, right? Very fast, very efficient, very fast. So she's good at wave clear for the minions. So you can utilize her 2 and her 3 that way as well, to charge her mirror up and clear the wave really, really fast. Another thing I just wanted to talk about was just using her 1, 2, and 3 without using her ultimate. This is how a lot of people engage in their fights, right? Because she has the built-in movement speed ability, a lot of people start with her 1 to get around the map, right? They're able to zoom around, and they'll basically use this, and then once they engage an opponent, they'll switch it to damage right away. So what you're doing is if I'm trying to hunt down this Odin, right, and I'm coming up on him, I'm starting with my 1, but as soon as I engage him, I'll engage with my 3 to silence, pop my shield, switch from my benevolence aura to my power aura, my valor aura. So watch, this is basically how you do it. You do that, switch it. Now I'm in power, I'm hammering away, my things, right, my shield's charged, I'm popping it when I can. And then in the middle of a fight, you can switch between auras. If you're taking a little bit of damage, you need to heal a little bit, you can do that. There's another thing you can do with her benevolence aura and with shield of regrowth. You can create some really great spacing between you and your opponents. Because you are a melee character, you have to get up in their face. to do damage, right? And sometimes that can put you in danger and all this stuff. But what you can do is if you're boxing somebody, you can utilize Amaterasu and her abilities pretty well to create some space. So you can close the gap really quick with her 3. Like I said, pop this aura. Okay, now we're hammering on him, right? We're doing damage. We're doing damage in the fight. All of a sudden, okay, it's getting a little heated. I can pop my 1, get the speed buff, right? And I'm just zooming away. And with our speed boost, you are faster than most gods because you're getting that 21% movement speed buff. You're able to juke some things out, and then maybe you can come back into the fight, right? And you're doing it again. So you're able to basically like kind of weave in and out with her. It's like, okay, things are getting a little heavy. It's like you're just gonna turn, and I'm not getting the shield of regrowth right now because I don't have enough damage on me. So let me go get some damage again. You'll see I move even faster with the shield of regrowth. Come on, Guan Yu. Do your thing, dog. So watch, if I'm it's not gonna do it because it's Valor. But even if I'm here, right? If I'm engaging in a fight and I pop my 1, I get the Shield of Regrowth buff, right? I'm zooming away. I'm able to get away from some fights, strafe a little bit with her. So use her 1 in that area, right? Use your 1, be in movement speed to engage. Once you do engage with somebody, pop your 2 to get the damage mitigations. You can pop your 1 to make sure you're in the damage stance, so you're doing more numbers. You're getting that weakened aura on that person, right, through your passive with the auto attacks as well. And yeah, you're basically trying to stick to somebody. That's why you're going to see, like I said, you're going to see things like a Frostbound Hammer, and her movement speed is more than enough for you to chase people down. Just with her 1 and Frostbound Hammer, I'm able to hold left click and like run circles around this Odin, right? You're going to have people slow enough to be able to just be holding down left click while they're trying to get away, right? They're gonna have a hard time getting away, and if they leap, you just dash after them and keep on doing it, right? And keep on applying that slow from Frostbound. So yeah, so these are just some core items that synergize with our kit very well. These 3 are attack speed oriented that will get that auto attack up, so you're applying that aura debuff to them with your passive. Shield of Regrowth just works great because she has that self heal. Once it pops, you're able to zoom around pretty fast with it for a couple seconds. And then Frostbound is great for just sticking on to somebody like a Squishy or somebody like that. So yeah, so that's her first 3 abilities. Now let's talk about her ultimate here. Her ultimate is Dazzling Offense. Amaterasu focuses the power of the heavens into an impressive 3-strike combination attack. The second hit will do 20% more base damage and slow enemies by 30%. The third hit will do 40% more base damage and stun enemies. She must hit an enemy with the first hit to receive the increased damage and CC on the second hit. The same rule applies to the second and third hits, right? So basically what this means is the first hit that you do is going to just do some the normal damage to her. Once you hit them again with the second swipe, it's going to do 20% more base damage and slow enemies by 30%. And then the third hit will do 40% more damage. So let me show you just what this looks like by itself. This is the cone. This is the area you have to work in. Now it is possible to hit multiple gods with this ultimate. You can hit 2 or 3 enemy gods. Like, I mean, you can hit all 5 if you want. But as soon as you do this ultimate, good players are going to know scatter. They're not going to be grouped up for your ultimate. So a really good way to use this ultimate is pick the character that you want to go in on and use this ability on for the stun, right? So when the team fight starts happening as Amaterasu, if you're building her a little bit tankier, you're normally going to go for the mage or the ADC, right? The mage or the carry, and you're going to just use this ultimate on them and try and run them down using this and getting that stun in on them. So then your team can also capitalize on it as well, right? So that's how you use it offensively. You can use this ultimate defensively as well. If you're getting chased down, I'll show you in a little bit what it looks like trying to use it defensively, but you can kind of back away as you use this ultimate and then stun anybody that's chasing you. So if a jungler's chasing you and like a carry down and you're trying to help out your, your Squishy or something like that, you can use your ultimate to just stun that person and do the damage and slow them as well. So this is what it looks like just by itself, right? First strike, second strike, third strike. After the third, he's stunned, and then he goes about his business, right? So yeah, the second strike gives that slow duration of 2 seconds, and then the third strike gives the stun duration of 2 seconds there. So let me go back in here real quick. I'll show you. I'll reset the cooldowns, and let's see what this looks like. Basically, what I want to do is I want to show you how you can utilize this with other parts of her kit. You can have the 2, her Heavenly Reflection, going on while this hits, and each strike counts towards that hit. So if you look, I'm going to pop my 2. Watch the shield charge. 1, 2, 3. See how I have 3 charges on my shield through that? If you do it correctly, you can get something going where you can basically have a fully charged shield after the ult, and you're able to shield somebody after they're stunned. It makes a very easy target to hit. So you can do something like 1, 2, pop the shield, 1, 2, 3. They're sitting there, they're a sitting duck. You pop your shield, you're good to go, and it's fully charged, right? Another way to do it is you can do the shield earlier, right? So you go like this, you pop this, pop your 2, 1, 2, 3, something like that too, right? Where you're basically just utilizing your 1, your 2, and your ultimate all at once. So a really good way to also engage is even if you're far away, right? You can start out in the mobility. Make sure you get into power, or try and get into power when you can. But you can engage with this. Oh, I fired it a little too soon. That was my bad. But yeah, you kind of want to like engage with your 3, pop your 2, change your aura, right, and then get into your ultimate as well. So let's do that again real quick. Let's try engaging. We popped our 2. We're getting into power stance. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're hitting all of our abilities at once. Amaterasu is great at burst damage like that. And you can really get into some team fights and do a lot of damage just doing this. So yeah, that's the basic ways to utilize her kit. Like I said before, practice just switching between the auras when you can. Use movement and speed ability when you're not really fighting. As soon as you start getting into those team fights, have that habit of popping your 1 and popping your 2 at the beginning of the fights, right? You might want to save your 3 if they use a movement speed ability to catch up to them real quick. If they leap away, like chase after them, things like that, or use it for your own escape, right? You can use it. Oh, things are getting a little dicey. Let's use my 3. I'm going to pop back to my 1. I'm going to use my 3. I'm going to dash away, and then I'll be good to go. So yeah, so that's the basics of Amaterasu. Like I said before, really quick, actually, let me go over this since I talked a little bit about the items that synergize with her well. One other thing that also synergizes, if you're taking her into solo lane and things like that, Death's Toll is a pretty good starter item for her, just because hitting an enemy with a basic attack restores 2 health. So when you're in lane, it provides a lot of sustain for you, and you're able to upgrade that late game to get that 30% attack speed with Death's Temper as well. So you're able to basically add on to how fast you can stack this aura and everything like that, and how fast you can stack your shield with her. So yeah, those are the basics. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We do run a Smite learning server in Discord. If you guys are interested in joining, I'm going to put the link down below. Feel free to join. We basically party up. We teach people how to play Smite, and we're teaching people how to play Conquest and things like that. So it doesn't matter if you've been playing the game for a week or maybe even like years, and you're interested in learning something about a new god, or trying to get into Conquest for the first time or something like that. We're always willing to help and basically do that with you guys. So feel free to share this video with anybody you think it might be helpful for, and like and subscribe if you can, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and have a great day.